I can't. And I think it's my fault that the game is being played the way it's played now, because when I was dominating the post, he tried to bring in centers to bring me out from the post. And then we're all products of our generation, so shoot the jumper. So it's my fault that guys are playing soft, what I call it.
Anthony Edwards just shook the whole basketball world by saying Larry Bird had no skill, and Shaquille O'Neal did not take that lightly at all. When Edwards sat there and claimed nobody in the 1980s could really hoop except Michael Jordan, it hit people the wrong way fast. This wasn't just a bad take. It came off straight disrespectful to one of the fiercest competitors to ever touch a basketball. And when Shaq fired back, it didn't just silence Edwards. It cracked open a bigger issue with how the modern NBA looks at the past. By the time you hear what the legend said about Bird's real skill, you'll see why this might be one of the wildest comments a young player has ever made.
Didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill, you know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, oh my God, but now everybody has skill.
Larry Bird had no skill? That's what Anthony Edwards is pushing. The same man who walked into the three-point contest, looked every competitor dead in the eye, and told them they were all fighting for second place. That guy had no skill? The same player who would tell defenders exactly where he was about to shoot when he was about to release it, and still hit the shot right in their face while they couldn't do anything about it. That's who Edwards called unskilled. What makes it even worse is Edwards admitted he never even watched old-school NBA games. That means he spoke on a legend he doesn't even understand. But before getting into Shaq's response, you need to hear what Larry Bird really did on the court, because once you hear it, this no-skill talk sounds ridiculous.
Bird comes in and says, which one of you is gonna come in second place? Nobody said nothing?
Not a single player said anything in that locker room. Nobody spoke up because they all already knew Bird was about to win. That wasn't just confidence. That was dominance on another level. That's how skilled he was. His competition accepted defeat before it even started. And Bird didn't just talk big, he delivered every single time with cold precision. The way he played would make a lot of modern players look average in comparison.
He said, I'm gonna wait till you get one step away from me and I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. No, true story. So I got one step away, he shoots it all net, three-pointer, good. Then he turned to me and said, you did all that running for nothing.
No question, you did all that running for nothing. Bird said that straight to a defender's face. He told him the shot was coming, waited for him to rush over, then dropped a perfect three that didn't even touch the rim. That's not just skill, that's control. That's mental warfare. And Bird never let up. Every game, every quarter, every possession, he stayed in your head. He would tell you what was about to happen, then go out and prove it anyway. That's the same player Anthony Edwards called unskilled.
He walked off and said, legend.
Which makes it sound even crazier. One word. That's all Bird needed after cooking someone. No celebrating, no extra moves, no showing off. Just handled business and walked away like it was normal. That's real presence. And now you see why Edwards' comments hit so hard. Because the players who actually went against Bird, the ones who felt that skill in real time, had something to say about it.
That's flagrantly disrespectful to the old guard. Larry Bird wasn't skilled.
To Magic.
Isaiah Thomas was one of the greatest skilled guards in the history of basketball. Magic Johnson was 6'9", a 6'9" point guard. We had never seen anything like him.
Flagrantly disrespectful to the old god. That's how the basketball community described Edwards' take, and they meant it. Bird won 3 straight MVPs in a league stacked with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Isaiah Thomas, and Julius Erving. Calling him unskilled isn't just wrong. It shows a lack of respect for the game's history from someone who admitted he never studied it. And the wild part? Bird actually spoke on this whole era debate himself, but not in the way people expected at all.
Every decade's different. The game changes. They always try to compare players now to back in the 80s and 70s, and which you cannot do. It's a whole different ball game.
Bird didn't come back angry or loud about it. He stayed calm and just said comparing eras doesn't really work because the game keeps changing every decade. But what he didn't say is what really stands out. Respecting the players who came before you isn't optional. It's part of the game, and that's exactly where Anthony Edwards missed badly. That slip-up is what pulled Shaquille O'Neal straight into the conversation, and he did not hold back at all. When Shaq heard those comments about Bird and the older generation, he didn't try to be polite or careful. He went straight at it with full force.
I can't.
Shaq grew up watching Dr. J dominate. He ran alongside Kobe Bryant during one of the most powerful dynasties ever. He faced Michael Jordan on the court and felt that level of greatness up close. So when someone from this era says the old NBA had no skill, Shaq isn't guessing. He knows for real. And he's saying today's game doesn't measure up. And when people tried to call him a hater, Shaq shut that down quick.
You ain't building, you're not in the building.
4 championships, 3 finals MVPs, one of the most dominant forces the league has ever seen. That's not someone speaking from the sidelines. That's someone who already reached the top. His message is simple. You can't call it hate when someone already did more than you. Shaq climbed that mountain and is looking down from the top. And from his view, a lot of modern players aren't even close. But here's where things got even sharper. Shaq didn't just go after the whole era. He separated the real competitors from the rest. A couple of them could play. That's how he put it. Talking about an entire league full of players making huge money. He can count the ones he respects on one hand. Everyone else, he didn't even bother naming them because they already know.
Joe can't play.
Then Shaq said something that flipped the whole conversation. He didn't just blame modern players. He admitted part of the change in the game came from him.
And I think it's my fault that the game is being played the way it's played now, because when I was dominating the post, he tried to bring in centers to bring me out from the post. And then we're all products of our generation, so shoot the jumper. So it's my fault that guys are playing soft, what I call it.
His dominance was so overwhelming that teams had no choice but to adjust just to survive. There wasn't a center strong enough, big enough, or tough enough to deal with him, so the league shifted. Teams started building stretch bigs, players who stay outside and shoot instead of battling inside. The gritty physical game that Larry Bird thrived in slowly got replaced by something softer and more spaced out, and Shaq is making it clear. That shift happened because nobody could deal with what he brought to the floor, and he doesn't like what it turned into at all.
I hate big guys shooting threes, but hopefully somebody brings it back. However, if I was playing today, though, they would have to change for me.
This isn't just talk, it's a warning. Drop a prime Shaq into today's NBA and everything changes overnight. Teams would have to rebuild fast. Analytics departments would be scrambling. Those 7-footers standing at the three-point line would suddenly have to learn how to defend the paint again. And the truth? A lot of them wouldn't be ready because they never had to learn it in the first place. But the issue doesn't stop with big men shooting threes. Shaq pointed to something even deeper, tracing the shift in the game back to one player and one team.
Steph Curry and those guys messed it up. Like, I don't mind Golden State back in the day shooting threes, but every team's not a three-point shooter. So why everybody has the same strategy, I think it makes the game boring.
And that's where this story really takes a turn. Every team in the NBA feels the same now. Dribble handoff at the top, swing it around, launch a three, miss, then sprint back and repeat the whole thing again. It's like watching the same play on loop. Back in Larry Bird's era, teams had real identity and style. Utah kept hitting you with the pick and roll from Stockton and Malone until you couldn't take it anymore. The Lakers had their system locked in. Miami ran sets that kept defenses guessing. Every squad had its own personality, its own rhythm, and it made the game feel alive. Now everything blends together, and Shaq is saying the product is fading because of it.
The game has already been perfect ever since Naismith, created it. It's perfect. We as humans it up.
And this is what makes Edwards' comment hit even worse. The era he called unskilled was actually one of the toughest, most physical periods in basketball history. Meanwhile, the version of the game he's playing in now is way less physical than it used to be. Larry Bird played in a time where hard fouls were part of the strategy, not something people argued about after the game. You could catch an elbow and still be expected to get up and keep moving like nothing happened. That was normal. Bird gave 13 seasons to that kind of basketball and paid the price physically, diving for loose balls, playing through a broken face, pushing through serious back problems that eventually ended his career. That's the same player Edwards labeled unskilled, while playing in a league where even small contact gets called out.
Less physical, more physical, man, but...
And the people who really understand the game started breaking down what Shaq would look like in today's NBA. And honestly, it's scary to think about. Nobody could stop Shaq back then, not even elite defensive centers at the top of their game. Hakeem Olajuwon couldn't fully contain him. David Robinson couldn't either. Patrick Ewing had no answer. These are all-time great defenders, and Shaq still dominated them.
Shaquille O'Neal, what can you do? Literally.
What nobody could do then, so shit.
Literally. Like, what the fuck are you guys? You guys don't do nothing out there right now.
So what happens when you put that same force into today's league? Who is stopping that? That's the real question. And according to those who know the game deeply, the answer is simple: nobody. We're talking about 40 points and 15 rebounds easy in a league that barely has true centers. A league where post defense isn't even a focus anymore. A league where the tallest players are often standing outside waiting to shoot instead of battling inside. That plays right into Shaq's hands. And Shaq himself already made it clear what he would do in this era. He said he would make them quit, not just beat them, not just outplay them. Make them quit the game mid-run and not want to come back. That's a different level of dominance.
There's no MVP big man that's going to play defense.
Right.
So we think
like Hakeem was a defensive player, David Robinson, defensive player,
Yep.
Patrick Ewing, defensive player. Those bigs played defense.
And he was eating their lunch.
40 and 15.
Yeah. Easy.
That's the kind of power Shaq brought to a time when competition was intense every single night. And now he's looking at today's players and saying they wouldn't last even one possession against that kind of pressure. So when Anthony Edwards says Larry Bird had no skill, it doesn't just sound off. It sounds completely disconnected from what the game really was. What Shaq is really saying comes down to one thing: you can't recognize greatness if you never took the time to study it. Edwards admitted he never watched the old NBA, and that one line said everything.
Any guy, they know it.
No film study, no real understanding, and still bold enough to call one of the greatest shooters ever unskilled. That's not a hot take. That's straight up ignorance with a mic in front of it. And the wild part, the man Edwards called unskilled is from the same era Shaq knows very well, because he lived it. He competed in it. He felt that level up close. Shaq, one of the most dominant forces the game has ever seen, even said he was terrified playing against Michael Jordan. Think about that for a second. Jordan played in the same era as Larry Bird, the same era Edwards brushed off like it didn't matter. If players from that time could shake someone like Shaq, a man who dominated physically and changed how the game was played, then calling that era unskilled makes no sense at all.
He's the only man that had me terrified on the court. Because I went from high school admiring him, college admiring him, and then he's right there in front of you. And all the shit you see on your poster, like he's doing it in real life.
That's not just a bad opinion. It disrespects everything those players went through to build the league into what it is today. Anthony Edwards didn't just miss the mark here. He showed a gap in understanding the game itself. Because if you can watch Larry Bird walk into a three-point contest and tell everyone they're playing for second, if you can hear how he told defenders exactly where the shot was going and still hit it right over them, if you can see that kind of control and confidence and still say no skill, then the issue isn't with the past at all. The issue is right now. It's how the game is being viewed, talked about, and judged by players who came in without studying what built it. That's the real problem Shaq is calling out. Because this isn't just about one comment anymore. It's about a mindset creeping into the league where history doesn't get respected and legends get dismissed like they didn't dominate their time. And that hits different when you realize those same legends set the standard everyone is chasing today. Shaq isn't just defending Larry Bird. He's defending an entire generation that made the NBA what it is. The long flights, the physical battles, the nights where every possession felt like a fight. That wasn't just basketball. That was survival on the court. And when someone like Edwards speaks on it without really knowing, it exposes a bigger gap between eras. Not just in play style, but in understanding. Because the greats didn't just play, they studied, they adapted, they respected the ones before them. That's how the game kept leveling up. Now imagine flipping it the other way. Imagine a legend like Bird or Jordan casually saying today's players have no skill without even watching them. That wouldn't sit right with anyone. So why should it go unchecked the other way around? Respect in basketball goes both directions. You don't have to say one era is better, but you can't ignore what came before either. That balance is what keeps the game real. And until more players start looking back and learning instead of just reacting, moments like this will keep happening. Same arguments, same reactions, same divide. And every time it does, it pulls the game a little further away from the respect it was built on. And this is where everything comes full circle. What started as one comment turned into a reality check for the entire basketball world. Because this isn't just about Larry Bird or Shaq or even Anthony Edwards anymore. It's about how the game remembers greatness. The legends didn't just show up. They built this league step by step. Blood, sweat, injuries, pressure. Everything went into making the NBA what it is today. And when that gets brushed off like it's nothing, people are going to speak up, just like Shaq did, loud and clear. At the end of the day, skill looks different in every era. The game evolves, Players change, styles shift, but greatness, that stays constant. You can't rewrite it, and you definitely can't ignore it. So whether you're rocking with the old school or the new wave, one thing is clear: respect has to be part of the conversation. No shortcuts, no skipping history, no wild claims without backing it up. That's how the game stays real. Now it's your turn. Was Anthony Edwards out of line, or is this just the new generation speaking their truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear it all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with anyone who needs to hear it. And stay locked in, because there's always more coming. See you on the next one.